Hello, my friend. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Confidence Deep Dive. We are talking tapping, as you know, this month. This is part 3 of the mini-series. So if you have not listened to part 1 of tapping, go and listen to that, because what I do in that first part a couple of weeks ago is I go through what in the world tapping is. Why am I sharing with you that it really is a valid way of regulating our emotions and working through things and inspiring ourselves, and it's recognized as a treatment for many things, not just woo-woo stuff, as some of my friends would say. So you'll want to hear that. And then also in that part 1 episode, you're going to hear what are the tapping points. So I'm going to walk through today a tapping practice that you can do when you are struggling with your body image and you're unhappy. I mean, it happens to us all in midlife at a certain point, right? Maybe you're unhappy with how your clothes are fitting, or how you're feeling about how you look, or, just wanting to eat more or not healthy things. So we'll go through a lot of different examples in today's tapping, but that is the general theme. So I will mention the tapping points as I go through it today, but you'll want to hear part 1 so that you know what they are. And I recognize that this is not on video, so it may take a moment for you to kind of absorb that. But the most quick review ever, what we are doing when we are tapping is we are using acupressure points to allow energy, emotion to flow in our bodies, because it gets stuck. And you will find almost every time just such a tremendous calming feeling. Okay, so today we're talking about body and being unhappy with how you look or how you feel, or your motivation to exercise or your motivation to eat healthy. And as I said, I'm going to mix in a lot of different examples. I want you to bookmark this recording in whatever player you're using, Apple or otherwise, so that you can easily come back to it, because the best thing you can do is repeat this regularly. I would say every day for a while, and then you could spread it out if you felt like you wanted to do that. But the repetition is how we kind of reformulate our subconscious beliefs, which is what we're doing. So I'm going to give some examples that may really resonate with you as we're tapping, and I'm going to give some examples that maybe don't resonate with you as much. Maybe your clothes fit fine, and when I say something about being stressed about that, it doesn't really resonate with you. So that's okay. You don't have to repeat exactly what I'm saying. If you find that one particular part, maybe your lack of motivation to exercise or something, is really what resonates with you, then use that every time while I'm using other examples. And I think that's going to make sense as soon as we go through it. So that's all the explanation that we need. We're going to go through a tapping practice. And if you remember from part 2, which was tapping on really just being able to deal with stressful times in a sort of overarching, this is a rough time in life perspective. So that will be useful for anyone when you feel like you're really struggling. And I'm recording these in February, which is a time, because it's very gray, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's winter, it's cold. We sometimes have a lot of seasonal affective stuff going on. So this can really affect us at this point. So that's what part 2 was. Here we are in part 3. We're talking about your body and my body. All right. So as you know, hopefully by now, because you've gone back and listened, we're going to start tapping on the karate chop point of your hand. And it doesn't matter which way you do it, left hand tapping on the right or right hand tapping on the left. And we're going to have our overarching statement. I often call it a setup statement that we're going to say 3 times as we're tapping on that outside point of our hand. And then we're going to start going through the other tapping points. And we're going to do this a few times. And I want you to hear the pattern, because you can really do this on your own with your own wording. And of course, if you are finding a benefit even from listening to this, come find me and we will do more together, individually created for you. And all you have to do is just go to cherylpfisher.com/coaching and set up a free little intro call with me and we could talk about it. Because individually pinpointing exactly what tapping will be most effective for you is, of course, going to be the best way to go about it. But you can update this a little bit as needed. And we're going to start with all the negative stuff that's inside. And we're going to say it. And the reason we're okay with saying it is because we're not dwelling on it. We're allowing it to move through our bodies. That's what the tapping is allowing us to do. And then you'll hear me as we go through again, start to add in, let's lean this in a little bit more productive way. Let's lean this in a way where maybe we can figure out that we can move forward in some sense. And again, you can personalize that. So here we go. All right, we're going to start with the statement. I'm really frustrated with my body right now. And I truly love and accept myself. I don't want to use a but. We can, I suppose, because we're switching to a positive at the end. We always want to have something really accepting at the end of that sentence. So we're going to do that 3 times while we're tapping on the karate chop point. I'm really frustrated with my body right now, and I truly love and accept myself anyway. I'm really frustrated with my body right now, and I truly love and accept myself anyway. I'm really frustrated with my body right now, and I truly love and accept myself anyway. Now we're going to go to the inside of the eyebrow. My clothes aren't fitting right. Outside of the eye, it feels like no matter what I do, I'm gaining weight or I'm changing shape. Under the eye, doesn't seem like I have a waist anymore. Frustrated. Under the nose, I know I should exercise, but I don't want to. Under the mouth, it seems like even exercise won't make a difference. Collarbone. I don't like the way I look when I look in the mirror. Under the arm. Is this how it's going to be going forward? I'm just going to be unhappy with how I look. Crown of the head. Just really frustrated with my body right now. I think let's go again and let's grab in a few more examples. Inside of the eyebrow. Even when I exercise, it doesn't seem like anything changes. Outside of the eye. Am I just stuck here? I'm old enough that it won't make a difference whatever I do. Under the eye. I really want to look good. I want people to notice me in a good way. Under the nose. I'm frustrated that my face looks different. My cheeks or my jaw is saggy. Under the mouth. My neck is wrinkly. I don't like looking at my neck. Collarbone. It just seems like my body is getting old and I'm not ready. Under the arm. I'm really frustrated with how I look. Top of the head. Even when I try to eat healthy, it doesn't seem to make a difference. Okay. Now, ideally, we remember how we were feeling before we did that. And we evaluate now. And I should have asked you to give that a number, and I didn't. But now let's see if we can evaluate. So before you expressed that frustration, how was your sort of level of emotional upset on a 0 to 10 scale? 10 being super upset and 0 being totally fine with it. And can you imagine that maybe it has changed, that number? It has calmed you a little bit on this topic as you were tapping. If it hasn't at all, I want you to pause and rewind and do what we just did again. And you can stay in there for as long as you need to until we get that number down to 5 or under, where there's some emotions related to it, right? There still might be some concerns, a little bit of frustration, but not so upset. So we want to stick with just expressing those feelings before we move on. When we're ready to move on, we're going to start again with the karate chop point, and now we're going to mix in some different things, and we're going to go through tapping twice. So I'm tapping on the karate chop point of my hand. I'm really frustrated with how my body feels and looks, and I know it's going to be okay. I'm really frustrated with how my body feels and looks, and I know it's going to be okay. I'm really frustrated with how my body feels and looks, and I know it's going to be okay. Inside of the eyebrow, I look in the mirror and I'm not happy. Outside of the eye. And I know that there are still good things I can find. Under the eye. My waists are a little tight on my pants. I don't like that. Under the nose. I feel like even if I eat healthy, it's still a struggle. Under the mouth. I know when I eat healthy, it's good for my body. I know that much. Collarbone. I'm working on finding some activity that I enjoy doing that's good for me as well. Under the arm. Maybe I'll start walking with my neighbor. Every little bit counts. Top of the head. Again, every little bit counts. Every little bit counts. Inside of the eyebrow. I get frustrated with how everything fits outside of the eye. I get frustrated with the weight I'm gaining when I feel like I shouldn't be under the eye. And I know that I can do my best under the nose. I know that I can just keep making healthy choices under the mouth. I know that I can be my most fit and healthy. Collarbone. I know that every choice I make is a step in the right direction. Under the arm. Even though I get frustrated, crown of the head, I know that I can make at least small steps forward. Now, back to the karate chop point. I'm really frustrated with my body right now. And I know that I can still keep moving forward and make healthy choices and make a difference. I'm really frustrated with my body right now. And I know that I can keep moving forward and make healthy choices and make a difference. I'm really frustrated with my body right now. And I know that I can keep moving forward and make healthy choices and make a difference. And there you have it. Think about the number you're at now as far as how your emotional status is with frustration, with what's going on with your body. Maybe you go through the whole thing again. See if you can reduce that number down. Because the more we can get our bodies into a calm state related to our nervous system, the more we can actually mentally and physically focus on, oh, I could start doing this activity that I enjoy. I could add in this healthy habit. It will make a difference. Maybe I will go and look into hormones, or maybe I will go and look into something else. There are things that can make a difference, and you're going to start getting ideas on what you can do once we've gotten ourselves out of that emotional situation. So I hope that helps. I will see you next time for part 4 and another tapping example.